Hi, Mr. Lee. Welcome back to our brunch.
Thanks for making the time. I was curious about the call you made yesterday about my results of that survey I did last week. You said I scored highly on some traits. Which ones were they?
Yep, you scored high on availability and conservatism. But before we get into that, you mentioned that you wanted to buy more Apple shares. Do you want to share more with me about that?
Well, I like the company. My shares are up by 20%, and who do you know who doesn't own an iPad or an iPhone? But what about the wristwatch and the Apple TV that are being rumored about? It's going to be a hit.
Well, that may be true, but let's look at your survey results first, shall we?
Oh, yes. So, what am I exhibiting?
Well, the reports show that you scored low on all traits except in availability and conservatism. So maybe your interest in Apple might be influenced by your availability tendency.
Oh, really? What do you mean? My interest is based on news and my research.
Availability is a tendency where you focus on information and research that resonates with your own experience.
So, what is wrong with making decisions based on experience?
Nothing at all. We just have to be careful. Aspects that might have contributed to your experience might have changed. For example, Apple has become a much more volatile stock in the last 6 to 8 months.
Exactly. Isn't that a good time to pick up some stock on a low?
Well, Apple has been in the news a lot lately. Coupled with your positive experience of owning the stock, you might be leading with your availability tendency.
Well, I was thinking about doubling my investment in Apple when it was around 680. Surely I would have lost a ton of money if I actually did that.
Our research suggests that Apple has the potential to grow further, but it has also become much more volatile. I just want to make sure that you've considered all the stats before making your decision.
Okay.
So you can think about diversified funds instead of buying the stock directly.
Okay, why don't you send through some numbers for me to look at before I decide what to do?
I'll be happy to do that.
So, what was my other tendency?
Conservatism. But that doesn't mean that you're a conservative investor.
What does it mean then?
This is where people hold on to their views. It's hard to change people's point of view once they're familiar with something.
Yeah. I know that sometimes I'm set in my ways. My wife complains that I never want to try new dishes when we go to restaurants.
I know, I'm the same. But when it comes to investing, it really helps to be aware of this behavior because this can make us less objective.
Now, isn't that the opposite of availability?
People can exhibit both traits. We can be overly influenced by easy-to-understand events, that's availability, and maintaining status quo when events are hard to understand, and that's conservatism. Talking about conservatism, I understand you've been holding on to Dell for a couple of years now.
Yeah, that's right. I've been losing money for such a long time that I don't know what to believe and what to ignore anymore.
Well, the company is trying to do a buyout.
Yeah. Well, it's gone up by nearly 25% since the news broke.
If for whatever reason the buyout fails, how do you think that will affect the stock price?
I really have no idea. I haven't done any research on the company since I first invested. I'm too scared, to be honest, to even look at it. Maybe that's the conservatism in me.
May I share with you our in-house view on that? There might be some potential for action here.
Absolutely. I look forward to your research on both Dell and Apple.